are treating me is so repulsive. I have text messages, Megan, calling me an anti-Semite.
It's been so unfair. They were coming after you after Turning Point for, among other things, that you had Dave Smith there. Dave Smith is allowed to criticize Israel. You had both sides. The Israeli side was overrepresented.
No, you're not allowed to. It's even worse than that. My moral character is now being put into question. You and I believe that we're Americans and Americans first, period. End of story. We are citizens of this nation, okay?
That's right.
Israel, we have funded, we have supported. I host a person that I moderate the debate of, mind you, right? And I give equal time to Josh Hammer, equal time to a pro-Israel advocate, and my moral character is being put into question. And so I think it's a hyper paranoid, like we're just going to try to, we're going to just stamp out everything type of practice. But it goes to the point where if, for example, if I have less ability sometimes online to criticize the Israeli government about backlash than actual Israelis do.
There's something that's been really bothering me for quite a while now.
People are asking, who was the shooter? Was it Tyler Robinson on the roof? Was it the guy with the palm pistol? Was it the man operating the camera? Was it Brigitte Macron in the trap door? I would say the better question to ask, the easier question, who didn't shoot Charlie Kirk?
It's just too many inconsistencies going on with the story.
Yes. So when he's first spotted on campus, he has different clothing on, and then he changes clothing on the roof, and then changed back into that clothing at some point, so that when he was apprehended, when he was arrested, the clothing matched the clothing he had on before the shooting here at UVU.
I don't think we've been told anything close to the truth, and I genuinely think that this was a government hit. I made a video about this, and I got a bunch of backlash for it. But the more time that's gone by, it just seems like I've been right the entire time. And then the footage comes out of the palm gun guy. What's the palm gun guy, Jesse? Well, the palm gun guy is a member of Charlie's security team, and it does appear that he had a palm gun and fired it at Charlie at point blank range. Here's the footage.
Take a look at this man right here, folks. This is Charlie Kirk, security guy. He appears to have a palm gun in his right hand, and he aims it at Charlie Kirk and squeezes the palm gun, firing off a round directly into Charlie Kirk's neck. I suspect he was aiming center mass. As you can see, folks, in the right fist between the middle finger and the ring finger is the barrel of the palm pistol. You see him squeeze the palm pistol, firing off a round into Charlie Kirk. Pay attention to that right hand. It's going to go down into that left tricep area into a hidden pocket. You can see him stuffing that palm pistol in there. His right hand emerges from under his arm, empty-handed. He then puts his hand on the rail, leaps over the rail, and comes to Charlie Kirk's aid like the good assassin, security guard that he is. This video is from behind the assassin. And as you can see, he lifts his right fist up. That right fist contains the palm pistol with the barrel sticking out between the middle finger and the ring finger. He squeezes the palm pistol, firing off a round. You can even see the bullet and the bow shock swirl. There's the bullet and there's the bow shock swirl, both caught on video, folks.
But essentially, that's what I think happened. And I've talked to people about this. They all think I'm crazy.
Safety team's here. I just heard them say the active shooter, Charlie Kirk, has been shot. Charlie Kirk got hit. Look at what the security detail just said.
But you can see a projectile leave the guy's palm gun, right? Now, this is just a conspiracy theory. Don't take this for fact. I'm just saying it doesn't seem like any of this makes any sense. What it does seem like is a bunch of people teamed up to frame the story to somehow get Nick involved in this and take out like some of the biggest on the right space all at once. You see what's going on with Charlie, and he was leaving the Israeli cause.
Jewish communities have been pushing the exact kind of hatred against whites that they claim to want people to stop using against them. Now, I don't like generalizations. Not every Jewish person believes that. But it is true, the Anti-Defamation League was part and parcel with Black Lives Matter. It is true that some of the largest financiers of left-wing anti-white causes have been Jewish Americans. They went all in on woke, and it wasn't just ADL. It was some of the top Jewish organizations in the country are actively being blackmailed. The Epstein playbook is being used on a daily basis. Jeffrey Epstein was not a financier. He was not a hedge fund manager. Jeffrey Epstein was a key player in a multi-decade blackmail operation against the most powerful people on the planet. And is the media totally presenting the truth when it comes to Israel? Just a question, that maybe we shouldn't believe everything the media says. Bibi said, quote, I didn't like how he said this, I'll be honest. You can't be MAGA if you're anti-Israel.
The Ben, perception, the legacy media is like owned by the Jews. And
I was going to say, Ben, come on. You Jews own the media, Ben. So, I mean, come on. As you can tell by all the wonderful headlines you guys get. This is the closest thing to the Holocaust any of us have lived through. But the fact is now Bibi and the Israeli hard-right government has a mandate. I got to be careful the way I say this. They're going to try to ethnically cleanse Gaza. I mean, I don't use that term lightly, okay? They're talking about basically removing 2.5 million people, okay? And honestly, they have a mandate to go seek justice and revenge. They do. This idea that they need to have a truce or a peace treaty, that's morally crap after you see women and children be burned alive and dragged to the street.
He turned down $150 million. Who turns down $150 million? On top of that, he was about just a bunch of different stuff that, I don't get demonetized. How do I say it without saying it? That little land that we're not allowed to talk about, well, he was advocating for those people. He was one of the few people that advocated for Irina Zarutska. That was his last tweet, and I believe it was deleted since. And now you're seeing news articles that Charlie was a big advocate for Israel, but the reality of it was he was leaving the cause because he was being harassed. On top of that, he couldn't keep his donors happy. He was put in an unwinnable position, literally unwinnable. There was no winning. And don't get me started on the Tyler Robinson jumped off the roof, but he assembled the blicky on the roof and then disassembled it and then reassembled it without the tool that was left on the roof and left a towel in the woods. How does that make any sense? Why would he do that? If he was trying to get a quick getaway, why not just leave the weapon behind? Wipe your prints, leave the weapon behind. But instead, somehow, for the that don't know, all right, for these type of rifles, you need two type of tools to put it together. One for the scope and one for the barrel. They're two different tools. And one of the tools to assemble the gun was left on the roof behind. So they're telling us that he assembled the gun on the roof, disassembled it, put it in his backpack, which it wouldn't have fit in. It wouldn't have fit. Joe Rogan showed that it wouldn't fit in the backpack.
That's the other thing. They said that he took it apart and then put it back together again. Shut the fuck up. Do you know how much time it would take to do that if you were highly skilled?
To disassemble a gun.
To disassemble a rifle so that you can get it in a backpack. And by the way, not going to fit. Not going to fit in a backpack. And then somehow or another reconnects it once he gets off the roof? What?
And then it showed him jumping off the roof. And another inconsistency is, I don't know if you guys have ever been hunting or ever shot a .308 at a deer. The deer explodes. Charlie didn't have an iron neck. And even if his neck was iron, if it was a .308 round, it would have exploded. So what is everybody talking about here? It has to be the guy in the front row. It wasn't a trap door. Another day in life. Then you have Nick, someone I have a giant amount of respect for, saying that it's probably Tyler Robinson that shot him, but there's too many inconsistencies where that makes sense. At least with the palm gun theory, the angles line up, the caliber lines up, the entry wound lines up, at least on the parts of it in my mind. I'm not a forensics, I'm not a genius, but to tell he was shot with a .308 round when a lot of us hunt, a lot of us aren't that stupid. And it comes to the point where it's hey, we all, the internet's controlled. Once you say too much, you get debanked. Like, I'm contemplating even posting the video, but, you know, this is gonna sound corny, but I also feel like we were cheated with Charlie because he was one of the advocates of Jesus, right? And he wasn't like an unhinged piece of crap like I am. He mannered and he presented himself well. And I think that's very unfair. But I do believe that Candace and Nick are very close to this. And I think gonna have in their opinion. Did I step on something? Yeah. But I would admit that Candace did look a little bit crazy making all these accusations and then not showing any proof. In my mind, her and Nick are in a lot of danger, and they really need to be watching their back right now. Now, everybody can think I'm crazy, but I'm gonna stand on this, and eventually I will be proven right. I think for a second that it wasn't an inside job, and I'm all kind of cool with it. So you have a super bike and you're going through town. You probably won't even hit 6th gear, just a pro tip. Damn, my bike's overheating. My balls are getting hot. Are you kidding me? My balls are gonna have to sweat another minute? 2:05 or 2:15. Oh, I made it to 5th! We can make it all the way! Ow! I love traffic, just makes it more fun. But that's essentially what I think happened. I've been thinking about it and losing sleep over it, so I might as well give you guys my little conspiracy theory on it. Don't take this as fact. It's probably not. Like, I'm a little bit crazy, y'all know this. But I think this shouldn't be ignored, and this guy is a suspect in my mind. He should be questioned. And my last one is, was he a part of Israeli defense at one point? Does that make sense? Because there's a picture of that man going around with Netanyahu in like 2018. But I think the video, I think I said everything. If you like this crap, like it. If not, whatever. See y'all later.